Welcome to the main event. This is True Ring News Network, your ringside access to WWE news and drama. Subscribe and let's rumble. The wrestling world is mourning the passing of Rey Mysterio Sr., a foundational figure whose influence helped shape modern lucha libre and, ultimately, the global evolution of professional wrestling. At 66, he leaves behind a legacy that stretches across generations, continents, and countless careers. His passing marks the close of a chapter that began in the vibrant wrestling culture of Tijuana, Mexico, where his dream of redefining the art of wrestling first took root. Rey Mysterio Sr., born Miguel Angel Lopez Diaz, was more than a respected performer. He was a creator, a mentor, and an innovator who helped craft the high-flying style that would one day captivate millions. For decades, he quietly shaped the future of the sport, training wrestlers who carried his techniques into the world's largest arenas. His death is not simply a moment of remembrance. It is a moment of reflection on how deeply one man's dedication can influence an entire industry. A legacy that inspired generations. The true measure of Rey Mysterio. Senior's career lies not only in his matches, but in the impact he had on the wrestlers he mentored and the fans he inspired. He played a central role in refining the blend of speed, agility, and storytelling that now defines modern lucha libre. His teachings helped elevate the style from regional tradition to international phenomenon, influencing wrestlers across Mexico, Japan, Europe, and the United States. While he never pursued the spotlight with the same intensity as some of his contemporaries, his contributions were woven into the fabric of the wrestling world, visible in every high-flying sequence, every inventive counter, and every moment when athleticism and storytelling meet in the ring. His legacy is not limited to a single promotion or era. It spans decades of creativity and dedication from a man who understood wrestling as both an art form and a cultural expression. A mentor who changed lives. Among Rey Mysterio Sr.'s most enduring contributions was his role as mentor to his nephew, Rey Mysterio Jr., who would grow to become one of the most iconic and beloved wrestlers of all time. Their relationship was more than familial. It was a bond built through discipline, trust, and shared passion. When Rey Jr. was young, small, underestimated, and dismissed by many, the elder Mysterio saw a spark that others overlooked. He believed in his nephew's potential long before the world did, guiding him through rigorous training sessions that shaped not only his physical skills, but his mindset, discipline, and resilience. Many wrestlers have spoken about the emotional and personal support Rey Sr. offered, often describing him as a steady presence who taught them lessons that extended far beyond the ring. His mentorship was grounded in values, respect, humility, and dedication, and his guidance helped transform promising students into confident performers capable of captivating global audiences. A technician and innovator. Ahead of his time, Rey Mysterio Sr. was a master technician whose approach to wrestling blended athletic innovation with emotional storytelling. Long before high-flying wrestling became mainstream, he was crafting movements and sequences that challenged the boundaries of what performers could achieve in the ring. He emphasized fluidity, timing, and connection with the audience, believing that a great match should resonate emotionally as much as it impressed physically. His understanding of psychology, how to build anticipation, when to inject surprise, how to keep fans emotionally invested, set him apart as a performer and teacher. Wrestlers who studied under him often describe his style as both graceful and precise, rooted in deep respect for the traditions of lucha libre while still pushing the craft forward. His influence can be felt every time a wrestler performs a Hurricane Rana, a springboard maneuver, or a rapid-fire exchange rooted in timing and agility. A quiet architect of modern wrestling. Though Rey Mysterio Sr. never sought fame for himself, his work became a blueprint for the cruiserweight and high-flying divisions that rose to prominence in the 1990s and 2000s. His influence shaped the evolution of wrestling in major promotions around the world, from Mexico's storied local arenas to international companies that embraced fast-paced aerial action. Much of the excitement that fans associate with modern wrestling, the acrobatics, the fluid transitions, the speed, can be traced back to the innovations he pioneered. Even when he worked behind the scenes, he remained dedicated to preserving the artistry and cultural importance of lucha libre. His contributions served as a bridge between tradition and modern entertainment, ensuring that the essence of Mexican wrestling remained alive even as the industry evolved. It is a testament to his influence that wrestling styles today still carry his imprint, adapting elements he first introduced decades ago. A life of sacrifice and dedication. Rey Mysterio. Senior's devotion to wrestling came with physical and personal sacrifices that reflected the realities faced by many performers of his generation. The demanding nature of wrestling meant years of pushing through injuries, performing in challenging environments, and dedicating long hours to training others. Despite these challenges, he remained committed to his students and to preserving the craft he loved. The hardships he faced highlighted larger issues within the wrestling industry regarding long-term support for veteran performers. Yet throughout these personal trials, he continued to share his knowledge, mentor young athletes, and contribute to the sport he cherished. His resilience, both in and out of the ring, demonstrated his unwavering love for wrestling and his belief in what it could represent: community, discipline, and cultural pride. A global outpouring of respect. The response to Rey Mysterio. Senior's passing has been heartfelt and widespread, with wrestlers, fans, and industry figures from around the world expressing their gratitude for his lifelong contributions. Wrestlers from different eras and promotions have shared stories about the lessons they learned from him, the technical wisdom he offered, and the warmth he brought to their journeys. This global acknowledgement reflects not only his technical influence, but the personal impact he had on so many people. He was a teacher who believed in the potential of those around him, a performer who elevated every match he touched, and a cultural ambassador who helped bridge wrestling across borders. His passing is a moment of collective remembrance, a reminder of the foundations upon which the modern wrestling landscape is built, preserving a legacy that must never be forgotten. As the wrestling community reflects on Rey Mysterio Sr.'s life, it becomes clear that his legacy must be preserved with respect, accuracy, and care. Many of his most extraordinary matches and teachings were never formally documented, existing primarily in the memories of the wrestlers he trained and the fans who were fortunate enough to see him perform. This makes it especially important for the wrestling world to ensure that his contributions remain part of the sport's historical record. His influence deserves recognition, not only through tributes, but through continued storytelling, education, and appreciation of the techniques and values he passed down. Rey Mysterio Sr.'s legacy now lives on through his students, through the generations he inspired, and through every high-flying moment that brings fans to their feet. His impact remains woven into the soul of professional wrestling, reminding us that true pioneers don't always stand in the spotlight, they build it for others.